I want to talk with you about something important today. Something most people never question, something sitting quietly in almost every home. Right now, there may be a bottle in your medicine cabinet, a pill you take every morning without thinking, a pill your doctor once prescribed to help you feel better. And for many people, it truly does help. But here's what I've learned after many years of watching how medications affect older adults. Sometimes, the same pill that helps one part of the body can quietly put extra strain on another. And as we get older, our hearts simply don't tolerate strain the way they used to. Not because we're weak, but because aging changes how much reserve the heart has. When we're 40 or 50, the heart has extra capacity, like a car engine that's barely working at half power. But by the time we reach our 70s, that reserve gets smaller. So even small stresses matter more. Small fluid shifts, small increases in blood pressure, small changes in heart rhythm. Things that wouldn't matter years ago can suddenly matter a lot. That's why today I want to walk you through several very common medications that many seniors take every day and explain what to watch for, what questions to ask your doctor, and what safer options you might discuss together. Not to scare you, not to tell you to stop anything on your own, but to help you become informed. Because informed patients make better decisions, and small adjustments can sometimes make a big difference. Let me tell you about someone I'll call William. William was 72, retired, active, loved working in his garage, gardening, playing with his grandchildren. He had one problem, though, knee pain, the kind that makes every step feel stiff in the morning. His doctor gave him a common anti-inflammatory pain reliever. Very common. Millions of people take it. At first, it felt like a gift. He could move easier, walk farther, sleep better. For a while, everything seemed perfect. But after a couple of years, William noticed something small. He got tired faster. Walking uphill felt harder. He felt a little short of breath at night. Nothing dramatic, just subtle. So subtle he blamed it on age. Most of us would. But here's what many people don't realize. Some anti-inflammatory pain medications can cause the body to hold on to extra fluid and salt. And when fluid increases, the heart has to pump harder. Day after day, month after month, it's like carrying a heavier backpack every single day without realizing it. Eventually, William's doctor checked his heart and noticed it wasn't pumping as strongly as before. Not suddenly, gradually, quietly. And when they reviewed his medications, the pain reliever turned out to be one possible contributor. After adjusting his treatment and switching strategies, things stabilized. But it was a wake-up call. Not because the medication was bad, but because it wasn't ideal for someone his age long-term. And that distinction matters. Many medications are safe short-term, Ian, but not always best for years and years in older adults. That's a conversation most people never have. And it's a conversation we should be having more often. Now let me share another story. Let me tell you about Dorothy. Dorothy was 68. Organized. Careful. The kind of person who followed every instruction her doctor gave her. If the label said take it at 8 a.m., she took it at 8 a.m. If the doctor said walk daily, she walked daily. She did everything right. One day during a routine visit, her blood pressure was a little higher than usual. Nothing extreme, just mildly elevated. Her doctor said, "Let's start a medication to bring this down and protect your heart long term." That sounded reasonable, and often medication really is helpful. So she started taking it every morning. Within weeks, her numbers looked great. Textbook perfect. Book. She felt proud, like she was taking control of her health. But over the next couple of years, something changed. Slowly, quietly. She felt more tired than usual, not sleepy, just low energy. Walking the same distance felt harder. She needed more breaks. Stairs felt heavier. Again, nothing dramatic, just subtle. And like most of us, she blamed aging. I guess this is just what getting older feels like. Have you ever said that to yourself? Most of us have. But here's something important to understand. Some blood pressure medications work by relaxing blood vessels. Others slow the heart slightly. and a few types can, in certain people, also reduce how strongly the heart muscle contracts. For many people, that's completely fine. But in some older adults, especially over long periods, that reduced strength can add up. If the heart squeezes just a little less efficiently for years, the muscle can gradually weaken. Not overnight, not dramatically, but little by little. Like using a flashlight with weak batteries, it still works, just not as bright. Dorothy's doctor eventually ordered an ultrasound of her heart, and it showed her heart wasn't pumping as strongly as it used to. Again, not a catastrophe, but weaker than expected. When they reviewed everything together, her medication list came up. Her cardiologist explained gently, "For some people, this particular drug isn't the best long-term fit. Let's consider alternatives that are easier on the heart muscle." They switched her to a different class, added some light strength training, improved her nutrition. Within months, her energy improved. She could walk farther again. Nothing magical, just better. And the key point here isn't that her medication was dangerous. It's that it wasn't the best match for her body at that stage of life. And that's the theme I want you to remember today. Not fear, not panic, just fit. The right medication for the right person at the right time, because after 65, the rules change a little. We become more sensitive, we process drugs differently, kidneys clear slower, the heart has less reserve. So personalization becomes much more important. Now let me tell you about James, because his story surprised even me when I first learned about it. And it involves something many people would never suspect could affect the heart at all: stomach medication. Yes, reflux medication. James was 76, had heartburn almost every night, burning in the chest, uncomfortable sleep, so his doctor gave him a pill to reduce stomach acid, and it worked beautifully. Within days, the heartburn was gone. He finally slept through the night, so he kept taking it. Month after month, year after year, 8 years went by, and he never thought twice about it. Why would he? It helped. No obvious side effects. But here's something many people don't realize. Stomach acid isn't just for digestion. It also helps absorb certain minerals, especially magnesium. And magnesium plays a quiet but very important role in heart rhythm. It helps the electrical system of the heart stay steady and coordinated. If magnesium levels slowly drop, the heartbeat can become more irregular. Again, not overnight. Gradually. James eventually started noticing fluttering in his chest, occasional racing heartbeats, a little dizziness. His doctor checked his labs. His magnesium was low, quite low. After reviewing everything, they realized the long-term acid-reducing medication likely played a role in poor mineral absorption. They adjusted his treatment, added magnesium support, made diet changes, and monitored him more closely. The rhythm issues improved, and he learned something valuable. Even medications that seem unrelated to the heart can still influence it indirectly. Because the body is connected. Nothing works in isolation. Your stomach, your kidneys, your electrolytes, your heart. They all talk to each other, so when we change one system, we sometimes affect another. It doesn't mean the medication is bad. It means we need awareness, monitoring, and periodic reevaluation, especially as we age. Now, if you're noticing a pattern here, you're right. These stories aren't about blaming doctors, and they're not about avoiding medications completely. Many medications save lives every single day. But they are about one simple idea. After 60 or 70, set it and forget it. Prescriptions don't work anymore. What helped you 5 years ago might not be the best option today. And unless someone reviews your list regularly, things can quietly drift out of balance. In the next part, I'm going to walk you through several specific categories of medications that seniors may want to discuss with their doctor, and what safer alternatives you can ask about. Nothing dramatic. Nothing. Just practical, calm, actionable steps. So now we get to the most important part of this entire video. Not the scary stories, not the worst-case scenarios, but the part that actually protects you. Because information without action doesn't change anything, and fear without a plan is useless. What you need is clarity, a calm, practical checklist you can use starting today. Because here's the truth most people don't hear. It's usually not one poison pill, it's the combination, the stacking, the nobody reviewed this for 5 years problem. One medication for blood pressure, one for pain, one for reflux, one for sleep, one for mood, one for diabetes. Individually, often reasonable. Together, sometimes overwhelming for a 70 or 80-year-old heart. Your body at 30 could handle that load easily. At 70, not so much. Your liver clears drugs slower. Your kidneys filter slower. Your heart has less reserve. Your nervous system is more sensitive. So the exact same dose that was fine at 50 can feel twice as strong at 75. And this is where problems start. Not because anyone did something wrong, but because nobody stopped to reevaluate. Let's talk clearly and simply about the main medication groups you should at least discuss with your doctor. Not stop on your own, never that. But review. Because review saves lives. First group, pain relievers used daily for arthritis. Things like ibuprofen or naproxen. Ibuprofen, naproxen. These can raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and make the heart work harder when used long-term. Occasional use? Usually fine for many people. Daily for years? That's when risk climbs. Questions to ask your doctor. Can I use topical creams instead? Physical therapy? Weight reduction? Occasional use instead of daily? Sometimes small changes reduce the need completely. Second group, certain older blood pressure medications that slow or weaken heart contraction in some people. Verapamil, diltiazem. These drugs are not bad. They help many patients, but if you ever notice unusual fatigue, shortness of breath, reduced exercise tolerance, it's worth asking, is this still the best option for me, or is there a newer alternative that's gentler on heart function? Often there is. Third group, long-term acid reflux medications. Omeprazole, pantoprazole. These were originally designed for short courses, but many people stay on them for years. They can sometimes affect magnesium, B12, and mineral absorption if used long-term without monitoring. So, instead of just refilling forever, ask, do I still need this daily? Can we step down the dose? Can I use it only as needed? Should we check magnesium levels yearly? Simple blood work can catch problems early. Fourth group, certain older diabetes drugs that may cause fluid retention. Pioglitazone. Again, helpful for some people, but not always ideal for seniors with heart issues. Today we have newer options that are often heart protective, so it's worth a conversation. Notice something? I'm not saying throw these away. I'm not saying these are evil. That's not how real medicine works. I'm saying after 65, every medication deserves a yearly checkup, just like you do, because prescriptions shouldn't be permanent by default. They should be re-earned every year. Here's exactly what I recommend you do this week. Not someday. This week. Step 1. Open your medicine cabinet. Write down every prescription, every over-the-counter pill, every supplement, everything. Most people forget 30–40% of what they actually take. Step 2. Book an appointment and say this sentence. I'd like a full medication review to reduce anything that might stress my heart. Doctors love this request. It shows you're proactive, and many will happily simplify your list. Step 3. At that appointment, ask, do I still need this? Is there a safer alternative? Is the dose still right for my age? Should we monitor labs or heart function? You'd be shocked how often doses can be lowered, or meds eliminated entirely. Because here's something encouraging, and I want to end on this note. Your heart is incredibly resilient. When we remove unnecessary stress, it often improves. Energy comes back. Breathing gets easier. Walking gets easier. I've seen 70-year-olds feel 10 years younger just from smart medication adjustments. Not new drugs, fewer drugs, better choices. That's the goal. Not more treatment, better treatment. So before we finish, remember this. Don't be afraid of medication, but don't be passive either. Be curious, be involved. Be the person who asks questions, because no one will ever care about your heart as much as you do. If this helped you, share it with someone over 60, a parent, a spouse, a friend. One conversation could prevent years of suffering. Take 10 minutes tonight. check your meds, write the list.